Going to go ahead, get started. So welcome to the official 2026 iGiveCatholic Partner Kickoff. This is the first of our office hour monthly gatherings. The point of this meeting is to just keep you up to date on what is most, any updates, any new features to help you know what is most to work on right now, and to give you opportunities to learn from one another. So let's start, as we always do, in prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. O Lord, giver of life, we know that all we are and all we have are gifts from you. We live in a world that celebrates consumption, but you call us to be good stewards of all you have entrusted to us. May this Giving Tuesday prompt us to gratitude and generosity that brings nourishment to the hungry and hope to the hopeless. We pray that iGiveCatholic may be a miracle of loaves and fishes, where every gift shared lovingly from a grateful heart becomes bread for the multitude, and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. In this giving and receiving, may our hearts rejoice in you alone, who are Lord, forever and ever. Amen. Okay. So, next slide. So, we are in a Zoom meeting. Even though we call them webinars, they're really meetings. So you can use the chat feature down on the bottom bar to ask any questions at any time. You can raise your hand. We'll try to notice that. There will be opportunities for you to unmute yourself to ask it with your voice if you so desire. Next slide. And here's a look at our agenda. As always, we honor your time. We know you've got lots of hats to wear, and we do too. So we're going to do our best to fly through this agenda to stay within 1 hour. As always, these slides are already on the Partner Resource Portal. The recording will be added there shortly, maybe tomorrow. So you can always reference back and always reach out to Katie if you need. But this is what we are. This is our map for today. Let's jump in. I am Lisa Shalacy, the National Director of iGiveCatholic. Katie here, your program manager, will be joining me in another part of this webinar. We are a tag team duo that you will see every month on this webinar, and we're here to support you. We're here to serve you. Next slide. Now let's see who you are. This is our latest map of who you are, but if you wouldn't mind, please put in the chat your, who you're representing, whether that's a diocese or a foundation or another organization, so that you can also get familiar with who your colleagues are that you can reach out to for collaboration. And as you do that, we're going to jump into the next slide of expectations. So this is our iGiveCatholic Giving Day family tree. Just so it's clear for everyone, Katie and I are the iGiveCatholic oval at the top. It's just the two of us up here. And we rely on you, the dioceses, to receive our empowerment, training, support, and then to go recruit parishes, schools, and other ministries and support them to success. Pontifical Mission Society is another one of our partners that does a similar work as dioceses, but for their own TPMS offices in every diocese. And then iGiveCatholic also hosts an iGiveCatholic national community led by the illustrious Anne Durney, that she leads parishes, schools, and other ministries whose home diocese does not partner with iGiveCatholic. So they pay an annual fee to participate in iGiveCatholic. Just want to be clear about this is how our hierarchy works, and it only works if we, stay connected directly. So please do not share Katie or my contact information with your organization. Reach out to us with questions and asking for help all the time, anytime. We'll be happy to help you. But if we are serving your organizations, then it's hard for us to support the 50 some odd of you. So just keeping that in mind. All right, moving forward. So let's look at our expectations of iGiveCatholic, what you can expect from us. We have partnered with MightyCar for tech and donor donation support. They provide the software platform, and we manage the relationship with them. Katie is here to support you. I have grown that position over the years to now a full-time position, and Katie here to support you, and she will give you a prompt response to partner administrators, again, please not, organization administrators. And then we provide, and Katie has updated, bountiful templates, guides, and other resources via the Partner Resource Portal, which we call the PRP, as well as the website resources section, which that public resources page is really geared at organizations. Partner Resource Portal is geared for you, our partners. We also have online and pre-recorded training, both for organizations and for partners. We have regular communication with best practice tips, examples of executing components, reminders for deadlines to you. Those are more regular, and they'll get about weekly as the campaign gets closer. We do about 4 or 5 of those for organizations in the campaign. We try to limit our communication because we recognize that everyone is busy and juggling a lot of responsibilities. So we ask that everybody read those emails. And we want to provide opportunities for you to collaborate and learn from one another. So, we endorse holy plagiarism, and that's why we collect best practices and share it out with you. Next slide. What do we expect of you? Again, please read and respond to those emails and requests. We set these various deadlines, trying to juggle everybody's nuanced situations and trying to make sure this moves smoothly. So we just ask you to please read and respond to our emails and requests, pretty promptly. We try to be forgiving. Please attend these webinars. This is our Partner Kickoff. I'm preaching to the choir for those of you who are here today, but then please come back for the rest of our office hours. And it's really important. This is our primary time to connect with you. And then we ask you to then take that information to support, train, and guide your own organizations, your participants, and commit to 1 or 2 hours a week. It may not need that much right now, but it certainly will as the campaign gets closer, and help them in these specific areas. And keep an eye out in your community page dashboard for updates and registrations and things of such, so that you can own your campaign and push it and lead it towards success. Next slide. So I'm excited to say that our partner spotlights are back. For those of you who were not here 2 years ago, we tried this last 10 or 15 minutes of office hours. And it's an opportunity for partners to share something that they do well so that you can learn from one another. It's holy plagiarism at the partner level. We didn't do them last year because we had so much to learn with the new platform and all the transition that we just needed every minute of every office hour. But we're hoping we can put them back in this year. We already have a couple of topics that we are scheduled for next month and the following. We are really interested in how you integrate your annual appeal in your campaign. So if you do that, if you've been thoughtful about it, if you've had success with it, we'd love to hear from you. So let Katie know if you would like to talk on one of these webinars. It's a really frequent question from our diocesan prospects about how do you integrate that. And then we are looking for 2 other topics. In fact, we have one of them I just sent Katie. I saw something one of you did that we're going to be asking you for. But anyway, if you're proud of something you do in your campaign, reach out to Katie. And if you want to share about it, reach out to Katie. So we'd love to feature you so we can all learn about it. All right, next slide. Thank you for those of you who have already paid your partner fee. We have a very, very part-time accountant who works with us, for us, who has another full-time job. So she doesn't cash these checks she cashes them monthly in batches, but I will receipt you immediately. So if you have submitted your payment and not yet received a letter from me receiving it, keep an eye out for that. You can feel free to check in with me, but if they're not cash, that's why it's about monthly. If you pay by ACH, please let us know. You can email me, or there's a Regina, our accountant, is on the transmittal, the information that we send out, because we only get partial information, and we got wires this year from the Catholic foo. We get that every year, the Catholic foo, and we have to figure out which Catholic foo this is. And the diocese of, that's all we get. So we have to piecemeal figure out who this is unless you tell us it's coming. If you are a mission diocese and were awarded a Catholic extension grant, remember that they will reimburse you $1,500 after you pay the full $3,000 partner fee. And then your second check should arrive in September for promotional purposes. If you have any questions about partner fee information, if you get delayed for some reason, whatever, just keep us posted. If you haven't seen a receipt from me, reach out to me and let us know. Now, heads up, we have not raised our partner fee since 2018. And guys, you know, everything has gotten so expensive. I kept trying not to raise our partner fee, but we really do need to start increasing our partner fee. I talked to our National Advisory Board in our spring meeting, April, about it, and, you know, trying to limit the obstacle of a fee for dioceses to participate in this venture. And this is what we have landed with, is to increase by $100 starting in 2027, so that hopefully that is palatable for everyone, but really start planning a regular increase, of a nominal increase each year, so that we can try to keep up with all the increases and expenses that we incur as your host. We will continue to extend that $1,000 discount to mission dioceses, and we've talked to Catholic Extension about this as well. They are looking into the grant to see whether they can increase the grant amount, but just know that at $100, I'm hoping that that will be doable for all of our partners returning next year. Okay, moving on to the next slide, I want to just remind you, you know, what we have been doing in the past several years as we haven't been raising the fees. But as I mentioned, when I came on in 2023, Katie's position was Ann Hare, and she worked about 5 hours a week. And boy, Katie works many more than 5 hours a week. But it's specifically so we could give direct support to you, so that we could support you. We've got this weekly email series for partners that you could copy and paste and send to try to support your organization as well. We've added this suite of Canva graphics and templates. People, who remembers when those graphics were Adobe templates that you had to edit in Adobe? That's such a pain. But now we've got Canva. I think that's working really well. We've added Spanish translations. We've added the goal setting guide that I've heard great feedback from. Top 10 Roundtable, our primary Holy Plagiarism celebration. YouTube library of videos with timestamps so you can jump directly to topics you're interested in. Collaborations with Blocknote, iCatholic, Prayer Solutions groups, Catholic social media, so that you can do some more plug and play, easy button promotions. We're now at ICSC every year as an exhibitor and now a presenter. They ask us to present every year. And we have continued to lower credit card fees. So we're hoping that you see these, reminded of these improvements we've made over the past few years, and can understand why we do need to start raising the partner fees, even if incrementally. Now, next slide. So another challenge we needed to be transparent with you is our credit card processor, Braintree, while we were signing up with them last summer, raised their charity rate. Did not tell us that the rate increased as we were onboarding into their program. So we collected in the fall lower than what they charged us for credit card donations. We realized this in late February when we couldn't reconcile our books, and that's when in March we changed the rates that we collect on online credit card donations on our platform. So you will see that sometimes, especially recurring donations, it's an odd thing that maybe the donor signed up for recurring donations in December and they decided to cover the fees, but now the fees have changed. So that means that what the organization is getting has changed. It's not a flat $25. If the smaller donation amount, say it was a regular $25 donation, the organization is getting a little bit more than the originally intended donation, like $25.07 or something like that. But if they're larger donation amounts, the organization is getting a little bit less each month. And this is because Braintree, they raised the percentage that they take, but they lowered their flat fee. It went from 49 cents to 30 cents. So depending on if the percentage is more or less, so the difference between 49 cents and 30 cents. Sorry, it's so complicated. But the good news is that this still is the lowest rate we've ever had for credit card donations through iGiveCatholic, except for last year when we were collecting less than what our processor was charging us. We can't do that. We lost about $4,000 in our revenue to cover that uncovered expense. You can click this slide here, or look at our FAQ page for a full infographic that breaks down all of the online transaction fees, where they go, what they're for. If you have any questions with that, let me know. But just as a reminder, when we were with GiveGab 2 years ago in 2024, the credit card fee was 5.8% plus 30 cents. Now it's 5.58% plus 30 cents. So it's still a lot lower. But anyway, just wanted you to be aware of that. Okay, moving on to this year. And happy news, next slide, welcome to our new partners. I'm going to start with welcoming back Shreveport, even though that's at the bottom. Shreveport last participated in 2023, but we have 4 brand new partners, Diocese of Saginaw, St. Petersburg in Florida, hopefully neighbors to St. Augustine, and they can collaborate together to set Florida on fire. Tucson, way over in Arizona, so happy to have further reach out west. And then Portland, Maine, boy, we wanted to get up in Northeast, and so now we're in the furthest northest, eastest. So welcome to you guys. I hope you get to know some of your colleagues that are on this webinar so that you can learn from them and plan for some really great campaigns. Next slide. Okay, remember that now iGiveCatholic accepts donations year-round, but only donations recorded in the official giving window will be counted in our community, your community, and our global leaderboard. Okay, so I want to be clear to you about when those are being counted. Advanced giving starts on November 16th at 12 a.m. Eastern Time, midnight Eastern Time, and extended giving closes at 5:59 a.m. Eastern Time because it's 11:59 Hawaii time on December 8th. This is so that we can capture the full day of November 16 through the full day of December 8, no matter where you are in the U.S., from Hawaii to New York. Your organizations, it shouldn't matter the specifics about this because all of those gifts will be tagged if they are within that window. And this is what is set up for all of the metrics that are counting on every page, global page, your individual community pages, and will show up on the organization pages when they register. So please encourage your organizations and donors to focus the activity, or donors limit their activity, or really organizations for offline gifts, to within the giving window so we can include their donations in our totals. Last year, there was tens of thousands of dollars that weren't counted in our giving day totals because they were right before advanced giving or right after extended giving. So I want to say that now, and we're going to repeat it in all of our webinars. Well, I should say the organization webinars. Next slide. Funds distribution. So now that we collect donations year-round, and iGiveCatholic is the one that processes them, we send them funds out every about the 10th of the month of each month for the previous calendar month of donations by ACH. For Giving Tuesday this year, we want to try to keep most of that schedule, but unfortunately, because Giving Tuesday is the bulkiest, busiest, most donations of the campaign, we're going to stretch November to cover December 1st, so that when we disperse, our big disbursement is going to be advanced giving through the giving day, and that means we'll have to push back the ACH to December 14 rather than the 10th, just to make sure all of those dollars end up in our bank account before we try to send them out again. And then extended giving and anything that comes in for the rest of December will be dispersed in a usual timeline around January 10th. I encourage you, each one of you, to click that link in the iGiveCatholic disbursements, the disbursement policy page, to see what our policy is, how we tell organizations to set up their disbursement settings, their electronic fund transfer, EFT settings. But anyway, this is going to be how we're going to do it. We're not going to hold all of our Giving Day funds and send them all to you in December. It's really too difficult to do that before Christmas. So we're going to break them up into 2. Next slide. But you can still centrally route if you so desire. And that just means that we would send it twice to the centrally routing dioceses. Now, we prefer not to centrally route now that we're processing because it has to be manually done. I have to manually do it. But you can, if you have a reason to centrally route, then you can make that request, and that's fine. And it means that during the giving day only, so from the official start to the official end, all of the donations for your community go to your designated bank account. You must let Katie know before registration opens on August 17th so that your organizations know how important it is for them to connect their own bank account or what to expect on when and where they're receiving their funds. And again, this only applies to the December and January disbursements, not available the rest of the year because it's a manual process. And I'm trying to limit opportunities for human error. This is money, guys, and it's so important. So trying to keep it simple in an automated fashion. All right, we are asking, and I have a note here in my notes here. We have asked Mighty Cause to give us an easy way to switch it to the community so that we can automate this and make it easier to do this. But meanwhile, I'm just manually doing it and adding extra work to my plate to keep up that offering. Next slide. So we are now going to require EFT setup in the to-do list. So all year round this year, I have been chasing organizations to add their bank accounts because they have donations that I'm holding and they never entered their bank account. We're trying to limit that so that I'm holding like $40,000 or $50,000 of donations that I can't send to the organization because they don't have bank account set up. So we are going to put that in the to-do list, but we have safety nets, right? So if the organization is an essentially routing community, if you are collecting donations and distributing for the giving day, and the organization does not enter the bank information, Katie will manually approve them on November 2nd. Their registration will be approved, okay? But at the same time, we're going to remove the recurring donation option immediately so that they're not getting donations that are scheduled after the giving day period. And I will make their page non-donatable, turn off their donation button on December 9, again, to prevent collecting donations with no account to send it to. We're also going to share with organizations directly and frequently in our webinars, in our emails, how they can do that as well, regardless of whether they added their bank account. They can turn off the recurring donation option, make their page non-donatable after the giving day ends. It's choose your own adventure here. I'm just trying to decrease the amount of chasing I have to do after the giving day to get people their money. Okay, and this is also only available in central routing community. So it's not possible for me to cherry pick 3 or 4 or 8 organizations in your diocese and just send your money there. That is too much headache, guys, for the 50 some odd of you. For me to do, I'm not an accountant, right? We don't want to make these big mistakes, potentially. So this is only available if everybody is going to one diocese. If you have, let's switch to the next slide, because if you have organizations, just a handful of organizations that you want to collect donations for, you will need to enter, you or they will need to enter banking information into their dashboard. And we have an updated MOU template that's on the PRP as well, where you can choose that you're either sharing your EIN to an organization that's either a part of your diocese or a fund in your foundation, or maybe it's an organization that does not have the tax information and verification documentation to be able to find or verify their own EIN, so you're just going to share your EIN with them. You can do that. You can also just say, we're going to collect their donations for them for whatever reason, that's fine, or both. Or they're going to use our EIN and we're going to share the bank account. Mighty Cause will not copy over the bank account from one to the next. It's another request we've made that if there's a sponsor relationship between 2 organizations, can you make an easy button where you can say, yes, we want to collect donations into our bank account, but we don't have that yet. And they won't copy it over anymore. So each account has to be set up in disbursement settings separately. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's not us. And we're trying to make it easier, but for now, it is what it is. Thankfully, once it's set up, it's set it and forget it, and you're done. Okay, so most of you will be done from last year. Name on the bank account must match either the organization's name or that of their sponsor that's on the MOU. So not a third party. And if you have an instance where the foundation is collecting the funds, but the organization is using the diocese's EIN, talk to me and Katie to help you figure out the right MOUs, because you're going to have an MOU for each of the sharing of the organization. I understand why Mighty Cause has this, because they want to make sure that dollars are going to registered 501c3s, and they want to make sure that dollars are going to the correct 501c3s. But the Catholic Church is a complicated hierarchy that they are not so familiar with. So we're gonna try to smooth this through, get it through. Once it's set up, then we're done. Okay? So make sure each of the organizations who share your bank account are set up in time before Thanksgiving starts. All right, and you can feel free to ask us questions at any time. We're here to support you. And I'm going to toss the ball to Katie.
All right, so now we're going to be jumping into both platform updates as well as resource updates for this year. So jumping right in, some new features that are available for your organizations in their org page. We're really excited about this. Again, Mighty Cause, the transition, it's been bumpy, but they are a very collaborative partner where they're continuing to roll out new features for both you and for your organization. So one of the cool things that they did is previously they had their Accelerate upgrade. So there, you may have noticed the little blue flame next to certain features in the org pages, and these were behind a paywall. And these are now available to all of your organizations as just a part of their participation. So it's things like they can now collect contact information for the donors that have given previously, and this allows them to send automated emails to previous donors as well as to peer-to-peer fundraisers. So there's also that automated email feature we're excited about. There is a text to give feature where basically you send a keyword to a phone number and then it'll send a link to that organization's page to donate. Unlimited number of fundraiser templates. Your organizations can now import an offline donation sheet. So if they have many offline gifts to enter, they can upload a sheet to just get it done in one batch. They're offering multiple integrations with organizations like Zapier, Slack, Google Analytics, and Facebook Pixel. So again, if you've got really tech savvy organizations that have those and want to use those, they have integrations available. And this is one we're really excited about, especially, this was something that was requested quite a bit last year, is the ability to disable donations. So let's say you have an organization that just wants to receive donations for the giving day. They now have the capability to turn donations off on their page. So this is really beneficial, especially if they just want to use the page for, let's say, the giving event or a giving event that they have in the summer, something along those lines. They now have the capability to turn on and off when they accept donations through their page. Some features and then also just want to give you a heads up, we are going to continue to train on these features throughout our office hours and in future webinars for your organizations. So I know that was a lot of information about new features that are available. We'll continue to offer trainings and different things so that you know and feel comfortable with those tools. Next up, this is specifically really for you on the community page level. We're going to go into a more extensive training in the office hours, but just so you are aware, these are some new things that are available in your community page. You can now search your members by the platform category or keyword. You can add different columns in the member page to show ministry, category, size. So previously you would just see their name. Now you can actually see, okay, who are my parishes? Who are my schools? You can add tags to members for visual groupings or for leaderboards. So this is really beneficial. Let's say, I don't know if Elizabeth from Erie is on, but you can now add a tag for different deaneries. I know that that's been a prize that they offer up in Erie. So you can now you can go in and organize your organizations however you see fit. In the donations tab in your community page, you can now search by member name. This was something that was really frustrating in the last campaign, is that you couldn't really search by member specifically. So you couldn't just pull St. Agnes's donations in your community page. You can now do that. And then this is also really beneficial. You can now change the community ownership. So let's say you have somebody else that is going to be running the campaign, that is going to be the main admin for your diocese campaign this year. You have the ability to change the ownership of the page to that person. We have instructions on how to do this in the partner resource portal, or always just reach out to me and I'm happy to help you out. But you will see that if you're in the settings, you will see that ability to change the owner of the community page. So makes those transitions much easier. All right. So this is something, again, if you've been with us for a while, you know that historically in GiveGab, you did not receive access to your community page. I know it had a different name back then, but you didn't receive access to your page until July. And even when you did receive access to it, you couldn't really go in and make changes. So let's say you got a new crest in the middle of July, you weren't able to make that change to your page. What's wonderful about this platform, again, is that you can now go into your page whenever you wish. It's the same page from last year. It's just updated for 2026 with 2026 dates, copy such as that. So you can go in now, update your images, your story, your videos, all of that. You are able to update now. Now, Lisa has gone through and updated all of the copy. But one thing I want to mention, especially for you, you Spanish speaking diocese, is that she did use Google Translate. So please feel free to change the copy as you see fit. One thing I want to mention, I'm actually going to switch gears here real quick, just so that you guys know. Can you see my screen okay? Is it still sharing? Okay, so this is the community page for national. What you'll notice here is that the timer at the top is set for your local time. So for the beginning of advanced giving for your local time. So it's going to show, it might be a couple hours
It's
off
set
from
for
a
Giving Tuesday, Katie.
Giving Tuesday, my apologies. So this timer is set for Giving Tuesday to your local time. However, if you scroll down, this box here measures your metrics. And this is scheduled to calculate from the beginning of advanced giving, Eastern time, to the end of extended giving, Hawaii time. We ask that you don't touch these metrics. So do not touch, no touchy, because we want to make sure that your metrics match what's going on the national leaderboard. Last thing we want to happen is for you to come up and say, hey, I have this completely different number. Why is my number on the national leaderboard showing this, whereas on my page it's showing this? So to avoid confusion, we really encourage you, please don't touch the metrics. They're set up for you. No touchy. Okay, jumping back in real quick. Give me one sec here. I gotta get my notes back up. Okay, it's back on the slides. Okay, perfect. So again, no touching the metrics. The timer is set for your local giving day. So just want to make sure we emphasize that. If you do look on your page and something just seems weird or off, just let us know. And again, you can log into your community page now and begin making tweaks. Make it your own. We encourage you, go in there, have fun, don't touch the metrics. All right. So as I mentioned, again, you can change the ownership of your community page. You can also add admins. If you need to add or remove an admin, you're more than welcome to let me know, and I'm happy to help walk you through those steps. You have the capability of doing it on your end, but please let me know if you have any change of admin, just so that one, I can update our communications list. We know who I should be reaching out to for communications. And then also just checking to make sure that they have been added to the page. But again, you have the capability of doing it. There's instructions. They're linked here. These slides will be on the Partner Resource Portal, and those instructions are also available on the Partner Resource Portal if you ever need to do that. All right, so prizes. This is something that's going to be coming up relatively quickly here. Something that we want you to be aware of is that we will be sending out a prize template for build out. So if you already know what prizes that you're going to be offering this year, we encourage you to get on that early. If they're going to be the same as last year, just letting us know so that we can begin building out your prizes. We have two deadlines here for you to be aware of. There's kind of an early bird deadline and then a hard deadline for entry. But if you want your prizes and your prize page to be completed by registration so that you can use it as a registration, encouragement, as a incentive for your organizations, we ask that you would let us know those prizes by July 20th. This will allow us enough time to vet your prizes, make sure that they're set up correctly, and then get it over to Mighty Cause so that they can build them out. The hard deadline for prizes is September 1st. And then from there, again, it'll be about a 3-week turnaround before we can get that prize page up and ready for you. I will only be adding the button for your prize page if you send prizes. So just want to let you know that you're only going to receive access to the prize page if you have prizes. So just a heads up there with that. Okay, now we get into some of the fun things. So some resource updates for you as we go into the 2026 year. First is a pretty simple one, but it's just designed. One of the pieces of feedback that we received from the Partner Resource Portal last year was that, and it's just one of the pieces of feedback that we receive pretty regularly, is that it's very overwhelming and there's a lot of information and it's not always intuitive to know where to look for things. So one of the things that we have added is the what's happening right now tab. The idea here is again to take the mystery out of the Partner Resource Portal to let you know what's coming up, what to focus on right now, and maybe what deadlines you need to be aware of. So that is going to be updated weekly on Mondays with whatever information is going on that week or is upcoming so that you have kind of a glimpse without going into the weeds of the Partner Resource Portal of what you should be focusing. All right, next up, we've got the weekly email series. Not much has changed since last year. One thing I will mention is that it is available in Word doc or Canva template. Last year was offered in a PDF. If you would still like the PDF, it's available. You just download the Canva template PDF version. But that will begin on August 31st. So I will be sending it to you on the Friday prior. I believe that's August 28th. The idea here, if you're unfamiliar, is I will be sending you the templates for you to then turn around and send in whatever way works best for you out to your organizations. It's designed to take the guesswork out of the campaign, really walk them step by step, week by week, what they need to be doing and focusing on any given week. One thing I want to mention, if you are an overachiever and you decide that you are going to schedule this out, I want you to know that I will be adding and updating stories and best practices throughout the campaign. So it's worth to just keep an eye out, make sure that no changes or edits have been made to your scheduled email. Another thing too, I really want to encourage you, add stories. And, both again are available in template form so that you have the capability to add your own stories, your own examples from your community to really have that, again, that shared learning, holy plagiarism, and really celebrate the wins of your community. So I want to encourage you guys with that template format to really lean in and try to highlight the wins that your community is celebrating. And so that's just something that I want to mention with the weekly email series. And again, all of those templates are available on the Partner Resource Portal, and I will send them to you the Friday prior to the Monday that they need to go out. All right, so Lisa was so kind and got me a Loom membership, and this is one of the greatest wins of this role. I love Loom. If you're unfamiliar with Loom, it's a screen recording software, so you can screen record and narrate what's going on, and this has just been such a game changer. But one of the things that we have now is a Loom library. So it's a library of just short, quick videos on different questions that we've received about how to navigate the platform, both from an organization standpoint as well as you. There's different things, different subjects that may be really niche, where it's like, okay, I don't really know how to exhaust a match. How do I do that? So we created this library to answer those questions, break it down into a short visual format for folks on really specific questions. So one thing I want to mention, this is on the trainings page. It's at the very bottom. And it's going to continue to grow as questions arise. Even from the time that I took this screenshot till now, I've added a couple more looms. So you're going to see that increase. And if you have questions that are questions that we've heard over and over again, or that we think, hey, this would be really good to have a little bit more of a specific training on, just let me know too. And I'm happy to add more to this Loom library. But this is really designed both for you and for your organizations to help take some of the guesswork and some of the questions out of some of those more nitty-gritty questions for the platform. All right, so one of the things that we recommend as a best practice is that you would host an information session prior to the beginning of registration for your organizations to introduce them to iGiveCatholic. And we've had a number of partners do this over the years and have had really great success with it. So over the years, we have featured their slides and their trainings in our, on our partner resource portal, but we've never had slides of our own for you to use. So this year we have a slides template for an orientation training for your organizations. And the idea here, again, everything being in template template form is that you can then go in and edit and add your logo, add your stories, add your images, and your contact details for a training webinar. We still have those partner created resources available to you on the partner resource portal, so you can see what others have done in the past. But this is really just designed, again, to be a template for you, and to really encourage you and take some of the guesswork out of, and just some of the work out of trying to create an orientation training for your organizations. One thing I want to mention is that this is a very introductory, it's meant to be an introductory slide deck. We will still get into the nitty-gritty of platform training in our office or in our getting ready and final steps webinar. So just want to give you a heads up. You don't have to get into the nitty-gritty of the platform, even going deeper into registration. We will cover those in our organization webinars, but this is designed for you to take to your organizations and say, hey, if you've never heard of iGiveCatholic, this is what it is, and this is the benefit to you that we are offering to you as a partner. All right, so just around the corner here, I know it is mid-June, but we are just about to get into recruitment season. I know many of your organizations are kind of on summer break, but now is the time to begin laying the groundwork for your recruitment. So going back kind of into that last slide, one of the things we again really recommend, especially if you are a new partner, is to host an information session, because folks are much more likely to register for iGiveCatholic if they know a little bit about what they're going to be doing and what's expected of them. So again, we have that slide template available as an onboarding for you. We recommend you do it maybe late July, early August, right before registration kicks off. We also have those sample trainings from partners so you can learn what other folks have done in the past. And again, this is a really great way to introduce them to iGiveCatholic. We've heard in the past there's even some areas in the country where they're not familiar with Giving Tuesday. So this is also a great opportunity to invite them and to introduce them to the whole concept of a giving event and a giving day and the whole benefits that are available to them. We have an iGiveCatholic merch store, so that is available to you if you want to offer door prizes. Here's an iGiveCatholic mug for showing up. Molly Keene Smith in Louisville, she did that. I don't know if she did it with, I think the merch store wasn't around when I was running it at the parish level, but I know that the door prizes were a big win when I was running iGiveCatholic at the parish level. So definitely consider having a door prize. And then one thing too, many of you live in dioceses that are relatively spread out. So don't let distance be a barrier of entry for you to host this information session or to access those parishes, schools, and ministries that are kind of on the fringes of your diocese. We recommend that you have this in person, hybrid, or virtual, whatever works best for you, and provides access to your organization. So don't let distance be a barrier for your organizations. All right, so some strategies to be aware of. We know that bishops are extremely hard to pin down, and their schedules are very erratic and very difficult to get on. So what we recommend is that you reach out to them now, get on their admin's good side, and get a video of them inviting organizations to participate now. So that way, if it gets kicked down the can a little bit, you've got a little bit of a window and some time to work with your bishops. But we highly recommend, again, if you do nothing else, reach out to them now and ask for that video. Next is to really target pastors. We have found time and time again that when a parish has a pastor that is really, really the cheerleader, that is celebrating and encouraging his community, that organization is much more successful. Many of our top 10 panelists have mentioned that having a pastor just cheering on the efforts, he doesn't need to be the one running it, but just cheering on the efforts is a huge bolster to their campaigns. Likewise, again, we know school's out, but we also know that, coming up in July, your superintendents are going to start having their meetings, their back to school meetings with schools. So we recommend just reaching out to them and saying, hey, how can we get into that back to school meeting with your schools? Or can you present iGiveCatholic to them? Let them know that this is an opportunity that is available to them. For those of you that are returning, for returning partners, consider who those organizations are that did really well. That could really be, someone that, an opportunity for shared learning and invite them to come speak. Not only is this, again, a great opportunity for shared learning, but I think what it does is it tells other people, hey, okay, if they're over at St. Agnes and they can do this, then we can do it at St. Thomas. So really don't underestimate the power of having that proof of concept organization that did well in the past coming and speaking about their experience. All right, if you guys don't know Katie Crosby, she is lovely. She is at the Diocese of Lubbock, and she is the admin over there. And I call this the Katie Crosby popsicle stick method. She mentioned it at ICSC last year, and I just thought it was delightful. What she does each year is she writes down the name of the admin for each of her schools, parishes, and ministries, and she has it in a jar on her desk. And as she contacts that admin each week, she moves their name, she moves their popsicle stick to another jar. So she just picks one out, says, okay, I'm going to call Bobby Sue at, St. Peter's. And then, okay, they've been contacted, they get moved to this other jar. But this is just a really fun little way to make sure that your organizations feel connected. And it was a really great way for her to say, okay, I've had this touch point with this organization, even if it's just to say, hey, I'm checking in, seeing how you're doing. So I just love that and wanted to share what she did over in Lubbock. And then she will also be our partner spotlight for July. So she's got some really cool things. Couple more winning strategies for you to consider. We encourage you to encourage your organizations to pick a project that is visible, specific, and achievable. I really want to emphasize the visible. People get really excited about something that they see. Personally, my parish, they raised funds for a new bell tower and for bell tower improvements a couple years ago. And it's still something that when I walk into the parish and I hear the bells, I think, okay, I was a part of that. So it's a really powerful way to get people involved. We encourage you to send out an invitation, a blanket invitation to all your parishes, schools, nonprofit organizations to participate. We always say choose your own adventure. We've had partners that have limited enrollment or registration to just parishes, but you never know who's going to pick up that torch and really be successful and be your winning team. We encourage challenges and prizes to encourage friendly competition amongst your organization. I think Charleston does this particularly well. They really encourage that. I think one of their campus ministries in their schools has a competition of, okay, who can raise the most within an hour? So think of ways to really, again, get the people in your community excited and to say, okay, I want to be part of this team. And, we're part of the St. Edward's team. We're going to win. And so this is also a really great way to get early registration. Think about how you can use a prize to say, okay, if you sign up before Labor Day, we're going to enter you into a prize for X to go towards the total of your donation. So think about ways you can have fun. All right, so this is coming up. We will have the link available. I'll send it out in my post webinar email, but also it'll be available on the partner resource portal on that top list. We once again are partnering with our Sunday Visitor. They have graciously, over the past couple of years, supported us with these wonderful offertory envelopes. They are available in both English as well as bilingual Spanish. They are evergreen, so if you have boxes from the past, you can continue to use them. But these are available. We have the order form, and then that order form will be due August 14th. So we'll remind you at the next 2 office hours that this is coming up. But these have been an incredible tool for your organizations to use, especially for parishes, schools, and ministries that maybe don't necessarily get a lot of online gifts, but you have a lot of in-pew support. So those will be available or that link will be coming out again in the email that I'm going to be sending out tomorrow to you. All right, let me see if this will play. The merch store is open and available now. It was launched last year so that anyone could easily order iGiveCatholic branded merch for volunteers, donors, prizes, really any way that you wanted to use it. We do price it at the very minimum possible amount just to cover the cost of making it. It is a made to order site, so there's no returns or exchanges, and please allow for a little extra time for creation and shipping. One thing I do want to mention too is that we do not mind if you go ahead and use our logo. We have our whole logo suite available both on our graphics page as well as on the PRP. So if you know of a local shop that might work better for you for printing or offers better prizes, you are more than welcome to use our graphics and our logos for those purposes. Again, this is just meant to be another tool for you. We don't want to hinder you in any way. So. All right, so a couple things. Just what's next. Register for all of the office hours. They're all available on the PRP. Again, we ask that you prioritize. It's only 1 hour a month, and we really do try again to roll out information that is very pertinent to you at that given time of the campaign. Our next office hour will be July 14th, so Tuesday, July 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't already done so, consider sending out a save the date. We have a graphic as well as some templates available on the PRP. Go ahead and make sure to go ahead and order your iGiveCatholic offertory envelopes. This next one we will send. We'll do again a notification in July, but we have some templates available so that you can send an invitation out to your organizations in late July, letting them know registration is coming up. Now is a great time to go ahead and solicit sponsorships for prizes if you're going to be offering prizes. And again, we know how calendars fill up. Be sure to go ahead and schedule an information session to introduce your ministries to iGiveCatholic and go ahead and invite your ministries to that. Some key dates to be aware of. Again, it's not on here, but our next office hours will be July 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern. But after that, just be aware that that deadline for the participation fee is July 31st. Registration will open shortly after on Monday, August 17th, and will close on November 1st. So pretty good window for people to register. Advanced giving will begin on Monday, November 16th. Giving Tuesday this year, so the big date is December 1st, and extended giving will end on December 8th. And then finally, where to find help. Again, as Lisa mentioned, we are here to serve and to help you. So please do not be a stranger. Reach out with any questions. We know, we go over a lot of information. So if there's anything that you need clarification on after today's webinar or just in general, please feel free to reach out. We also have information on Mighty Cause tech support. So if you have anything technical going on, I love to help you as much as I can, but I do, and I am decently tech savvy, but some of the more intense stuff, we're going to loop in Mighty Cause support for that. And then if you have any major program concerns, if things are getting a little apocalyptic for you, then Lisa's contact information is available there. All right, and just want to say thank you so much for your time today. Again, we know you all are extremely busy and have a lot going on and a lot on your plate. So we just want to say thank you very much for your time and for partnering with us. We're so grateful for all of you and for all of the hard work and effort that you put in. And we're so excited for this year. I think it's going to be a really great year. And we're excited to walk with you on this journey. So I'll pass it back on over to Lisa, see if she has any final notes for us before we log off today.
I'm just going to congratulate us that we finished with 4 minutes, 6 minutes to spare. Because when Katie and I were looking at all the information we wanted to convey to you, kind of like the kickoff stuff, like just so you're aware of what's coming down the pipe, and we will go into detail with each webinar or each meeting. And I was like, oh boy, Katie, we got to work hard to stay within an hour here. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself to ask them, stick it in the chat. We were happy to clarify anything that we zoomed straight through. Again, you can always reach out to Katie directly if that is your preference, or if it comes up later, if you have a question later. But yeah, we're grateful to have all of you. Thank you for being here today. And yeah, this year is going to be so much easier than last year. I'm looking at the way that Zoom has set up the Brady Bunch screens. In fact, I kind of want to look at everybody. I see Emmeline, is it Emmeline McEwen? How do you say your name? Is that right?
Yes, it's Emmeline McEwen.
Emmeline McEwen. Well, welcome, Emmeline. And
Thank you.
It's just so nice. And you're in St. Petersburg, is that correct?
Yes.
Yep. And so I was like, a new face. I love seeing a new face. I love seeing returning faces too. Don't say, there are several returning faces I see here that I'm so glad. Jenna Wood, another new face. I'm so happy to see here. But guys and gals, we're looking forward to working with you through this whole campaign. If you go to ICSC, we will be scheduling another happy hour for a family photo and for me to buy you a drink so we can actually have conversation. But thank you for being here. We're going to let you use these 5 minutes instead of being here, feeling like you have to stick around. So if there are no questions, we'll let you move on with all your other business. If you have questions that pop up, please reach out to Katie. And thanks, everyone.